What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we've got Peacemaker, Season 2, Episode 8, the probable series finale. James Gunn has stated that this is very likely not, he has no plans to do a third season of Peacemaker, but he also said never say never. This could be like Big Little Lies where we just keep talking about a season 3 forever until they eventually do one, which kind of feels like where we're going with Big Little Lies. So, maybe, but also he has promised to keep the characters in the DCU for other projects. So, I guess they're going to be incorporated somehow. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean all of them are going to movies. There are other shows that he's working on for HBO Max that are DCU qualified, sort of like Disney does with their Marvel shows. So he could be in something like that. I know that they're still working on an Amanda Waller show. But they've got the Green Lantern show, stuff like that. So what happened in the series finale of Peacemaker, which has been produced by me? I don't know if you've noticed, I'm John Stark, and if you get to the credits, it says produced by John H. Stark. I just haven't told you the whole time. My middle initial is H. Stands for huge. Yeah. Thank you, James, for letting me produce this show. It's been glorious. The gang has to rescue Peacemaker because at the end of the last episode of Peacemaker, they got back out of the portal. All that crazy stuff happened where they were like, well, this is not a good place to be for a lot of people, so we're going to leave it. And tragically ended up killing off his dad again after learning that his dad was not part of the Nazi party. But so they're back in this timeline, and they have the door, the portals, and they're unlocking it and trying to get into these other worlds. They're just sending people down through all these doors and into these worlds, and trying to see if what these worlds are and if there's anything that's sustainable in them. And so we get a crazy montage of a lot of these worlds not being sustainable and people dying and Argus agents along the way. None of the main ones. They're just some of those ones that Tim Meadows ended up naming. I love that we're still we have not corrected Titties. So the whole time the audio description track just keeps calling her Titties because that's the only name she was ever given by Tim Meadows a few episodes ago. So she's just Titties because Tim Meadows said it 5 episodes ago. So it's like those characters that are the ones that are a little bit more in danger. The worlds are nuts. There's one that looks like it's Candy World with creatures that are pretty dangerous, but it looks like it's for little kids or something, but it's oh no, this is not for little kids. And then zombies and weird monsters that they have to fight. And as they remark, I can't remember which one of them remarks, they're I feel like we're supposed to be doing this to prevent what happened with Luther, but I feel like we're inviting it, because every time we open the door, we don't know what's behind it, and what to expect, and they're just opening every single door and what's behind door number 121. Eventually they find a world that seems like it's inhabited. The atmosphere is livable for humans. There's nothing there that they can't, so it's not a death sentence for anybody. And this has apparently been the plan all along, and this is where the the meta that's been attached the whole time. I forget her name. It's like I stopped paying attention to her, and then she became interesting as a character in the finale. But when she was like, "Oh no, I realized I've been a part of the wrong team," but the one that's been screwing Rick Flag Sr. the whole time. Anyway, she learns that Flag's whole plan has been to use this portal to create a prison for metahumans, and she's not comfortable with that. So she leans on, hardcore and that squad and gives them the information to try to help them save and set up. And everything's looking good. Like they're going to finally use the blood money that's in Adrian's basement to set up this organization so they can do some good, because Argus is clearly not doing it. And they're trying to get Peacemaker. But before Peacemaker can work with them, he gets kind of renditioned and taken off and thrown into the prison. He's like the first victim. Rick Flag Sr. is like, "Oh, you signed up thank you for agreeing to test this world for us." And he's like, "I didn't agree to shit." And Flag is like, "This is for my son," and kicks him into like a completely uninhabited world, supposedly, with no tools, no way to defend himself, no way to forage or farm for food, nothing. He's just alone in an entire planet. Or is he? Or is he? There's like a sound, there's like this roar, like right at the end before the credits, and you're like, wait a minute, is he alone? So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that, and how they use where he goes, and also how they're going to use the Peacemaker ensemble as they've set up a group. They're not they don't really work as a standalone group. I don't think anybody would watch them as a standalone group without Peacemaker, without like an anchor hero / villain. But we'll see. I mean, they all reunited for this thing, so they're all working together. They did drop off some of the extra Argus characters, but like Flurry, which is sad because Tim Meadows should be in everything because he's one of the best things about this show. His character is so stupid, and I love it. I'm so here for it all the time. Every time Tim Meadows speaks, I'm just like, my God, thank you. Thank you for being in this show. So, what else? So he does in and around that's the main plot. There is sort of like a subplot of Chris and Hardcore exploring their relationship over the course of time, and their reluctance to be in one. And he takes her to a concert, and she's not somebody who gets in her feelings very much. So when she starts feeling something, she just kind of like walks away from it. The music in this episode is amazing. I think there's actually a song that's like, "You fucked my heart in the ass," something like. Like when you really listen to the lyrics of the song, it's like sounds like an 80s like hair metal. What does he call it? He calls it John calls it, he has a name for that kind of music. It's like trashy metal or something like that, trash rock or something. But yeah, there's a song there. It's like, you fucked my heart in the ass. Such a weird, silly song in the background that it's like, I don't even know. I don't even know. But the fact that they found the song, I'm hoping it actually exists as a standalone, like by itself, and they didn't write it for Peacemaker, because I hope that song's just been around forever and James Gunn was just like, yo, I got a needle drop for you. Check this out. So this, I'm sad if this is the last Peacemaker, but they did kind of, it felt like this whole season was doing exactly what James Gunn had kind of said, which was aligning Peacemaker to the DCU, because he was kind of saying, like, obviously, because Peacemaker comes from not the DCU, that parts of Peacemaker were DCU and parts were not, and that it would be clear by the end of the show which parts would be DCU. And I think they kind of stepped away from. I also feel bad that he doesn't have Eagly. Like at the end, he's sent into the world, but like the last time we see Eagly, he's like clinically depressed. Like the bird is just like in a closet and like doesn't want to come out, and they're having to feed it like lunch meat because it doesn't want to hunt because it's missing. We didn't get enough like with Eagly and Peacemaker. I wanted that scene, so I hope Eagly is not being written out of the canon. But because Eagly had a great season in terms of an arc for an animal character, and with I mean with Crypto being around, they're pretty close to being to being able to do a League of Super Pets like a live action film if they wanted to. They just have to keep adding a couple more people in, a couple more animals, and they'll be fine. So, I don't know where we're headed next. I do know that Supergirl tested on the Warner Brothers lot recently, had a screening for the execs. So we're moving forward with the DCU into what not entirely clear, but James Gunn seems to be doing well with it. But I think at the beginning, people also felt the same about Zack Snyder. So Man of Steel didn't quite have like the same sort of like epic level hype behind it, but it felt like it was a solid start to what he was trying to do. And along the way, we were pretty responsive to some of the solo films, like the first Wonder Woman and the first Aquaman. Really, the first Shazam. Actually, every time they made a sequel, it was terrible. But the first ones were all fine. Like the first Wonder Man, the first Aquaman, the first Shazam. Yeah, just don't make sequels to them. So the Peacemaker. What grade am I going to give you? I kind of wanted a little bit more, but he's promising more. He's promising that this is not the end for the characters, and he's also saying, don't discount the fact that there could be a season 3 at some point, years down the line. Okay, thank you. So I guess I'll hold out hope in my grading, and when I feel like I didn't quite get the closure that I needed, I guess I have to trust the process and trust that we will see these characters again at some point. But sometimes we don't. Sometimes we never get closure, and then it becomes kind of a problem. It's sort of like I felt that the hardest recently with Alien Earth. I was like, man, if this show doesn't get a second season, I mean, say what you want about Alien Earth, even if you hate it or like it or whatever, but you get to that ending, and you gotta be on my side with that. Like, that is the worst ending if you don't have a second season, because it's such a nothing burger of an ending. Like, you're building up to something, and then they're just like, next time. Basically, they get everybody in the same room together, and they're like, what's next? Now we rule. And like, that's not an ending. Please order a second season of Alien Earth just so we can get closure. So it's not quite on that level for me. I mean, I don't want to like live my whole life still thinking that like John Cena's Peacemaker is just on this planet by himself, just roaming around, separated from Eagly forever. And especially considering he finally kind of became a good guy and a good person, and Rick Flag Sr. is now the villain. It's one of those, you either die a hero, live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Well, Rick Flag Sr. guess who became the villain of the story? You did. So I'm going to give Peacemaker, which has had excellent audio description, by the way. And the fact that she keeps saying titties for that character reminded me of the fact that the consistency that we have in names, right? For audio description. And I was like, she's fully committed to this. We got this on lockdown. But all those doors that they were opening, very well described. I think this is Zoo Digital that did this, and I want to say Emily Eden. Is that right? I hope it's right because I'm putting in my review. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep it just shy of the sort of like the top echelon scores of 9 and above. We're gonna go with an 8.9 out of 10. I really did like Peacemaker this season, and it has some excellent moments and some great little cameos and some laugh out loud moments and Tim Meadows. And if I could vote for this thing in one acting category, it'd be Tim Meadows for supporting actor in a comedy. I think would be the right move to do for the show. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it'll get any Emmy nominations, but maybe for Tim Meadows. You never know. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm done recapping, so this frees up a recap spot for me or a review spot for TV shows. So, and I can't say I'll see you next time for Peacemaker, but I'll see you next time for whatever the next DC thing is on HBO, probably, unless it's like a second season of Creature Commandos or the next season of Harley or Kite Man. I haven't been recapping the animated shows. So until then, till the next live action DC, see you guys on the other side.